so funny I'm talking about this in Indonesia. God, if someone hears me talking about this here, I'm going to jail. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Pradic. Just found this chill spot here in Plaza Temple, and here they call it Candy Plaza. I hope you can guys listen, like I don't know if this is gonna work. I just had the idea, get rid of this. I just had this idea of like filming a YouTube video about like the pros and cons or the yes and no's about solo traveling, and I'm almost at the end of my trip, so I kind of want to like make like a brief thing about like all of that I've been experiencing as a solo traveler, especially because it's been 10 months already. So here we go. Okay, so let's start with the pros, I think, or the yeses. So yes, to like you can plan your own things. You don't depend on anyone. You can wake up at whatever time you want. If you don't want to do something, you don't do it. Things like when you're traveling with someone, you kind of have to be on the same page the whole time and be like, well, unless you talk about this before started traveling, but in the regular basis, you do everything together, so you kind of have to like agree on everything, so that can lead to a lot of like fights. And I've experienced that when I was living in Chile. Sometimes I go to the beach, you know, during summer with my friends, and it's really hot here. And at some point someone wants to do something that I don't want to, and it leads to like a fight. So that's one of the pros about solo traveling, is like you manage your own time and you can do your own schedule. Let's go with a con now. A con about traveling, solo traveling, I keep saying traveling. Cons be at the same time as like being by yourself allows you to do everything that you want and you have a free schedule. Traveling with someone, there's a con that sometimes you wake up too late, or sometimes you want to do stuff but like you don't find energy on yourself to do it. Like most of the times my most productive travels that I've done is like whenever I meet people and there's always someone in that group. For example, in Vietnam, when I was traveling with Iris and Emily, Iris was always like waking up early, so she will wake us up. She was like, okay, let's wake up, and it was like 7 a.m. and I normally wake up at like 12 or 1. So she was the one who was constantly like, okay guys, let's do this, let's do that. So I always like find more energy when I'm with more people. But it also like you can also find it like solo traveling. When you're traveling with someone, you have that every day. When you're solo traveling, you don't. So that's kind of like a con, like in terms of like planifying things, it could be a little bit tricky. I don't know if I've been focused this whole time, hopefully yes. Well, a pro about solo traveling is the socialite. As you're like solo traveling, most of the times people like talk to you, so you get to meet like a lot of people. Okay, this is gonna sound like super shallow, but before I started traveling, I had like 700 followers on Instagram, and now that I'm at the end of my backpacking trip after 10 months, I have almost 1,800, so 1,800. And it's not because I became popular or like because I posted something that catches the attention, or maybe yes, who knows, because I post a lot of pictures. Actually, follow me on Instagram, it's I am Pradic. That is mostly because I met so many people traveling, and I met over 1,000 people traveling. In every single place I go, I meet people, like you make new friends, you travel together, at least for like a couple days. Sometimes you travel together for a week. Like this time when I traveled with these Australians in Belize, and I was supposed to go back to Mexico, I ended up in Guatemala. And we traveled together for 2 weeks, and at some point I found myself like on the other side of Central America, and I had to take my flight to Cancun, so I had to take a bus, like no, this is not a bus, but like a bus. I'm sweating so much, gosh. Guys, Indonesia is really hot. So, take a bus for 24 hours. Yeah, it's like these things that happen when you're traveling, that sometimes when you're like traveling with someone, you're not like that easygoing, or you're not like that chill. You try to planify everything. For me, solo traveling is really fun because I do stuff that I make decisions right in the moment. I'm really spontaneous about what I do. Like, for example, now I was just like in STEM, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna film a video. But if you're with someone, probably that someone's gonna be like, oh, like that's so annoying, like you're always filming, or blah blah blah. So yeah, this is kind of like a good pro about solo traveling. A con, let me think. Okay, a con about solo traveling is, for example, when you're like taking buses or taking planes and all of that, you are going through a lot of stress, obviously, especially if you're late for a bus, late for an airplane. Or for example, happened to me in Dominican Republic that they thought that I had drugs in my backpack, because, you know, the airports, whenever there's someone solo traveling and it's young and blah blah blah, they have like some like it's kind of like uh, factors, I don't know, like things that if you do this, that, you most likely gonna like carry drugs. So every time I'm in an airplane, I think that I'm carrying drugs or something like that. So I get like most of the time I had to like take everything out of my backpack, blah blah blah, and it's so annoying. So that's a con, because if you travel with someone, then you're not most likely to like be carrying drugs to another country. You're just like traveling with friends. So also like all of the stress process that you go through, at least you can rely on the other person. If something goes wrong, then you can at least find support on someone. Whilst solo traveling is just like you have to swallow everything and you have to like keep going, and you have to be like, all right, this is fucked, but I need to keep going and I need to like keep pushing and keep traveling, right? Because you can't just like stop. So yeah, sometimes I wish I was like with someone to like have some type of support when some things goes wrong. And yeah, pro about solo traveling. Well, let's say another con, because I can't think right now another pro. A con about solo traveling, especially if you're a woman, is about safety. Well, I personally, I've never felt unsafe while traveling, except for like those times that I got like my credit card stolen. Both of the times in ferries. One ferry was in Mexico from Playa del Carmen to Cozumel, and the other one was from Manila in Philippines to Coron. So I got my credit card stolen with all of my money, like $200 my credit card. But it's not that I felt unsafe, because it was like kind of like my fault, or maybe not. Like, to be fair, in Philippines I took it out of my pocket, but in Mexico I left it in the seat. So I've never felt like chased or anything, although I'm always like cautious. I got stolen so many times in Chile, so I'm really like cautious right now when it comes to walking on the street, especially in the night and all of that. Safety is always like, you're more like prone to have some more risk when you're solo traveling if you're by yourself. Because for me, like every time I go out in the night, it's like with people that I meet in the hostels, blah blah blah. So I never really go out by myself. I'm always like with more people, so I never felt unsafe. The same with women. Like many like friends and girls, they were asking me like, hey, is it safe for a woman to solo travel around the world? And dude, I met girls solo traveling in South America, which is supposed to be really like sketchy and dangerous, and it is, don't get me wrong. Like everywhere in the world is gonna be dangerous, but you have to like have the basis. Like you're not going on a night out by yourself, you're going with people and that you can trust, and you can be like, okay, like something happens to me, they have my back. Because if not, then you're by yourself, and that's when bad things happen. So traveling South America, traveling Central America, traveling North America, traveling Asia, Europe, it's gonna be safe as long as you are cautious about the things that surround you. Like I'm so sick, so like alright, let's keep going. I totally forgot what the fuck I was talking about. Yeah, just like be cautious. And even like for me, sometimes Tinder, Grinder, all of that. Well, for guys it's easily, like it's more easy, I guess. Like women are always like more prone for like, you know, machismo and all of that. But for me, like I open Grinder and I literally like, most of the times I don't even like say like, hey, let's meet in a public place. For me it's always like, okay, let's go fuck. But for women, like what I would recommend is like meet in a public place first. If it's a creep, fuck off. If it's not, go home. But yeah, always like keep those, I don't know, don't be reckless. Like I've been reckless sometimes, but nothing happened to me, thank God. But that's how I've been learning, and I hope nothing happens to you, because I'll be shit. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, that'll be like a con. And well, also a pro, well, talking about this topic, like a pro about solo traveling, especially if you're solo traveling and you are single, and if you don't have anyone back home, or if you're single or in an open relationship, for sure. Do I move my hands a lot? I'm like, I could be the best thing in your life. It's about like sexual life. Like for me, traveling, it's everything. It's about the culture, the food, it's about the music, it's about the landscapes, the temples and all of that, but also about sex. It's so funny I'm talking about this in Indonesia. God, if someone hears me talking about this here, I'm going to jail. Like, you know that the porn websites here are like blocked. Like I've been trying to watch porn, like I can't. It's like blocked. You know, like Grindr, all of that, they're like blocked. Apparently if you have sex before marriage, you go to jail. Okay, there's no police here. But sex-wise, it's really nice because you're more free and open to experience like new stuff. In my travels, I've had sex with guys, with girls. I have threesome. I'm not talking about this here. I've done like cheese and all of that, so it's really interesting how open you are about sexuality when you're traveling, which I think is really cool. Even like sometimes I've met people who they said like, oh, I thought I was like 100% straight when I left home, and I think like I might be bisexual, like curious or something like that. So in those terms, it is really nice to travel because you're not in your home city. Like whatever you do, no one's gonna know and no one's gonna judge you. So you just like, fuck it, like I'm just gonna like do whatever I want, experience whatever I want. So one of the things I love the most about traveling is like, and not only sex-wise, but also like how open you are to like experience new stuff, even like to do crazy shit. Like for example, when I hiked the volcano in volcano, put it in the comments, I don't even know how to pronounce it. I've never hiked a volcano before. Like I've heard when I was little, like my parents did one in Pica in Chile, and they said that it was awful, so painful, blah blah blah. So I was a little bit scared, but I did it anyways because these Australian guys that I was talking about, they did it. So I was like, I will join you guys. It was awful. Like you're probably gonna see that video soon, but it was so painful and all of that, and I would have never done that if I was like in Chile. I would be like, oh no, fuck it, it's like oh so annoying on a plane. I'm like near the airport here. I just bought this. It's like Coke, but like it's mixed fruit. I don't know, it's really nice actually. It tastes like apple, to be fair. What I was saying, yeah, and the fact that you're open to like experiencing stuff that you wouldn't do when you're home. So well, this is the end of the video, guys. I don't know for how long I've been recording, but I literally ran out of ideas, so I'll try to do more videos like this. I think it's really fun to just like talk to the camera in public where everyone can judge me. Ugh. I'm feeling sick. I don't know if I told you, but I caught like a flu and a congestion, and I feel like shit. My mom always told me like, if you are sick and you stay home, then you're fucked. But if you are sick and you still do your normal life, then your body's gonna be like, okay, I'm not sick, I'm fine, so you're gonna recover faster. I know it's true though. And by the way, I forgot to say this in the video, but solo traveling is fucking wonderful, guys. Like even though there's like few cons which are like pretty stupid, except for the one about safety, but I never felt unsafe. You must do solo traveling at least one time in your life. It's so wonderful, magical. It's gonna change your life completely. You're gonna grow up. You're gonna grow. You're gonna grow so much in such a short amount of time. Yeah, just do it and just fucking do it. That's my point. Alright, so I forgot to say a lot of things, but another pro about solo traveling, and not solo traveling, but like traveling in general, it's the fact that you learn so much and you go to so many places, and probably you're gonna experience in 1 month or like 2 months what people experience like in 1 or 2 years. So that's like a big pro because it makes you be more knowledgeable. Maybe obviously you're not gonna be like a mathematician or like a physician or like whatever, but you're gonna be like really like life knowledgeable, and that's really cool. This video is gonna be so messy, guys. Like I don't even know what I'm doing. I was like walking around because it took me like 1 hour to get here to this temple, so I'm gonna spend here like at least 2 hours, or maybe not. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope you subscribe to my channel. I'm starting to be more active for sure. I'm playing this game right now, YouTube. Just like follow me on social media. Instagram is I am Pradic. Subscribe to my channel down below, and leave it a comment, give it a like, all of that you already know, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Well, there's many pros, honestly, to be fair, but another pro is the fact that you can, I don't know. Well, we talked about, dude, that's why I should like start writing something and have something, I don't know.